Chapter 6 Continuation Patterns. They usually indicate that the sideways price action on chart is nothing more than pause in prevailing trend, and that next move will be in the same direction as trend that is proceed the formation. That means if this is a trend, like uptrend or downtrend, then these patterns are only pause in that trend, and they will move in the same direction as that trend will proceed in the formation. So these are triangles. So this is a symmetrical triangle, then this is ascending and this is descending. Symmetrical triangle, it is also known as a coil. Minimum requirement of triangle is for reversal point. Then ascending triangle, it has a rising lower line with flat horizontal upper line. Importance of volume in symmetrical triangle. Volume should diminish as the price swings narrow within the triangle. This tendency for volume to contract is true for all consolidation patterns. An increase in volume is essential to resumption of an uptrend in all consolidation patterns. Ascending triangle bullish, then descending triangle bearish. That means ascending triangle is a bullish continuation and descending is a bearish continuation pattern in general. Then broadening formation, it is also called as megaphone top. Time limit for triangle resolution. There is a time limit for resolution of pattern, and that is point where two lines meet. As a general rule, prices should break out in direction of prior trend somewhere between 2/3 to 3/4 of horizontal width of triangle, that is distance from vertical base on left of pattern to apex at the far right. If width for example were 20 weeks long, then the breakout should take place sometime somewhere between 13th and 15th week. So if uh, so these two lines are joining each other at somewhere say this apex, then if this distance from this vertical base, that is this point towards this, is, let's see in another figure. So in this figures of symmetrical triangle, if a distance from point 1 to this apex of APAEX apex of triangle is say 20 weeks, then breakout should occur at like 13th or 15th week. So it says that breakout should occur at 13th or 15th week. The actual trend signal is given by a closing penetration of one of the trend lines. Sometimes a return move will occur back at penetrated trend line after breakout. In uptrend, that line has become support line. In downtrend, resistance has become that. No, in uptrend that line has become support line, and in downtrend that line has become resistance. So the actual trend signal is given by a closing penetration of one of trend lines. Sometimes a return move will occur back at penetrated trend line after breakout. So this trend line at upper or lower will act as support, and lower trend line will act as resistance. The minimum criteria would be a closing price outside the trend line and not just intraday penetration. Importance of volume. Volume should diminish as price swing narrow uh, within the triangle. Volume should diminish as price swing narrows within the triangle. but volume should pick up noticeably at penetration of trend line that completes pattern. Volume is more important on upside than downside. Increase in volume is essential to resumption of uptrend in all consolidation pattern. There should be a slight tendency for volume to be heavier during bounces and lighter on dips. So all about volume is during this volume should diminish as price swings narrow within the triangle. So volume should diminish within triangle, then but volume should pick up noticeably at penetration of trend line that completes pattern. At this point in the circle, volume should increase at penetration. Then volume is more important. Uh, Volume is more important on upside than downside. Increase in volume is essential to resumption of uptrend in all consolidation pattern. So in upward breakout, volume is more important than downward. Then there should be a slight tendency for volume to be heavier during bounces and lighter on dips. The volume should be heavier on these bounces and it should be lighter on these dips. Measuring technique. The simplest technique is to measure height of vertical line at widest part of triangle. Uh, Simplest technique is to measure height of vertical line at widest part of triangle, that is this line from A to B. So we will measure this line. Measure distance from breakout point. For say here there is a breakout point, then we will measure this distance from A to B. So this is first method of technique of breakout. Then second method is to draw a trend line from a top of base, that is point A, parallel to lower trend line. We should draw a trend line from top of base parallel to lower trend line. Ascending triangle pattern. So this is pattern of ascending triangle. Pattern is completed on a decisive close above upper line. This breakout should see a sharp increase in volume. At this breakout, there should be sharp increase in volume. Upper resistance line should act as support on subsequent dips after breakout. Upper resistance line should act as support. So this line should act as support when after breakout. Minimum price objective is obtained by measuring height of triangle and projecting that distance upward from breakout point at C. Minimum price objective is obtained by measuring height of triangle, that is A, from A to B, and then add it measure that distance from breakout point, that is C. Ascending triangle as bottom. Ascending triangles generally is a bullish continuation pattern, but it can sometimes appear as bottoming pattern. Both ascending and descending triangles are sometimes referred to as right angle triangles. Descending triangle. It is a mirror image of ascending and generally considered as bearish pattern. Descending triangle as top. This is the type of pattern is not difficult to recognize when it does appear in top setting. In that case, a close below the flat lower line would signal a major trend reversal to downside. The volume pattern. Volume diminishes as pattern works itself out and then increases on breakout. So it is same as symmetrical triangle. Then in ascending pattern, volume tends to be slightly heavier on bounces and lighter or dips. So same as symmetrical triangle. Then time factor in triangles. Time factor in triangle. One final factor to be considered on the subject of triangle is that the time dimension. The triangle is considered an intermediate pattern, meaning that it usually takes longer than a month to form, but generally less than 3 months. A triangle that lasts less than a month is probably a different pattern, such as a peanut. The broadening formation. It is also called a megaphone top. The volume tends to expand along the wider price swings. The expanding pattern, therefore, is usually a bearish formation. It generally appears near end of major bull market. So this is a broadening formation, a broadening top. This type of expanding triangle usually occurs at major tops. It shows 3 successive higher peaks and 2 declining troughs. The violation from second trough completes the pattern. Then flags and peanuts. The flag and peanut represents brief pauses in dynamic market move. In fact, one of the requirements for both flag and peanut is that they be preceded by a sharp and almost straight line move. Flags and peanuts are among most reliable of continuation pattern and only rarely produce a trend reversal. Notice also the dramatic drop of inactivity as consolidation pattern form and then the sudden burst in activity on upside breakout. Construction of flag and peanuts. The flag resembles a parallelogram of a rectangle marked by two parallel lines that tend to slope against the prevailing trend. Example of a bullish flag. The flag usually occurs after a sharp move and represents a brief pause in the trend. The flag should slope against the trend. So this is a flag. The flag usually occurs after sharp move and represents a brief pause in trend. A flag should slope against the trend. The volume should dry up during the formation and build again on breakout. The flag usually occurs near midpoint of the move. A bullish peanut resembles a small symmetrical triangle but usually lasts no longer than 3 weeks. Volume should be light during its formation. The move after the peanut is completed should duplicate the size of the move. So this is a peanut, bullish peanut. Peanuts and flags in downtrends tends to take even less time to develop and often last no longer than 1 or 2 weeks. Both patterns are completed on resumption of downtrends. The breaking of those trend lines should take place on heavier volume as usual. Upside volume is more critically important than downside volume. Measuring implications. Flags and peanuts are said to fly at half mast from a flagpole. The flagpole is the prior sharp advance or decline. The term half mast, uh, the flagpole is prior sharp advance or decline. So this is a flagpole. This is a prior sharp advance or decline. So we can see volume here. So it is declining during the formation, and at breakout it is increasing. So this is a bullish flag. The flag looks like a down sloping parallelogram. So this looks like a down sloping parallelogram. So these are peanuts. Peanut on left continued the uptrend, while one on the right continued downtrend. So this continued uptrend, this continued downtrend. They are both proceed by an almost straight line move called a flagpole on a heavy volume. Prices then pause for about 1 to 3 weeks on a very light volume. So these were at a these were proceeded by almost a straight line move called flagpole. So these were proceeded by a straight line move. So this was a flagpole, and here also this was a flagpole, straight line move. Then prices continued for a week to 3 week, 1 week to 3 weeks on a lighter volume. So volume was lighter during this formation, and after breakout, then the trend resumes on a burst of trading activity. Both patterns occur at midpoint of market move. The peanut resembles a small horizontal symmetrical triangle. The flag resembles a small parallelogram that slopes against the prevailing trend. Both patterns take less time to develop in downtrends. Both patterns are very common in financial markets. So in uptrends, it takes a larger time than in downtrend. In downtrend, it forms in a less time. The wedge formation. Like the symmetrical triangle, it is identified by two converging trend lines that come together at an apex. In terms of amount of time it takes to form, the wedge usually lasts more than 1 month, but not more than 3 months, putting it into an intermediate category. The wedge pattern has a noticeable slant, either the upside or downside. Example of a bullish falling wedge. The wedge pattern has two converging trend lines but slope against the prevailing trend. A bearish wedge should slope upward against prevailing downtrend. Wedges as tops and bottom reversal patterns. Because a continuation wedge in an uptrend should slope downward against the prevailing trend, the rising wedge is a clue to the chartist that this is a bearish and not a bullish pattern. At bottoms, a falling wedge would be a tip of a possible end of a bear trend. Bullish falling wedge. The wedge pattern has two converging trend lines but slope against the prevailing trend. A bearish wedge would slope upward against the prevailing downtrend. So this slopes upward against prevailing downtrend. Because a continuation wedge in uptrend should slope downwards against the prevailing trend, the rising wedge is a clue to the chartist that this is a bearish and not bullish pattern. At bottoms, a falling wedge would be a tip of a possible end of a bear trend. Rectangle formation. Rectangle is sometimes referred to as a trading range or a congestion area. Two converging trend lines have a definite upward slant. Therefore, a rising wedge is bearish and falling wedge is bullish. So this has a upward slant. Example of a bullish rectangle in an uptrend. This pattern is also called a trading range. So this is a bullish rectangle in an uptrend. This pattern is also called trading range. It also called as a congestion area. It is also called a congestion area. So this is a rectangle formation. So it is testing back at this point. Example of a bearish rectangle. While rectangles are usually considered as continuation patterns, the trader must always be alert for signs that it may turn into reversal patterns such as triple bottom. So rectangle can turn into a reversal pattern called triple bottom pattern. So this is a bearish rectangle. This is a bearish rectangle. This is a bullish rectangle. The rectangles are usually continuation patterns. Importance of volume pattern. If the rallies are on heavier and setbacks on lighter volume, then formation is probably a continuation in uptrend. If heavier volume is on downside, then it can be considered as warning of a possible trend reversal works. Importance of volume. If the rallies are on heavier and setbacks on lighter volume, if rallies are on heavier volume and setbacks on lighter volume, then the formation is probably a continuation in uptrend. If heavier volume is on the downtrend, then it can be considered a warning of possible trend reversal in the works. Swings within the range can be traded. Some chartists trade the swings within such a pattern by buying dips near bottom and selling rallies near the top of range. This technique enables the short-term trader to take advantage of well-defined price boundaries and profit from an otherwise trendless market. When a breakout does occur, the trader not only exits the last losing trade immediately, but can reverse the previous position by initiating a new trade in direction of new trend. When a breakout does occur, the trader not only exits swings within the range can be traded. Some chartists trade the swings within the range within such a pattern by buying dips near the bottom and selling rallies near the top of range. This technique enables the short-term trader to take advantage of well-defined price boundaries and profits from an otherwise trendless market. So, some chartists trade swings within uh, within such a pattern by buying dips near bottom and selling rallies near top of range. This technique enables short-term trader to take advantage of well-defined price boundaries and profit from otherwise trendless market. When a breakout does occur, a trader not only exits the last losing trade immediately, but can reverse the previous position by initiating new trade in direction of the trade. Other similarities and differences. In terms of duration, rectangle usually falls into one of the 3 months category, 1 to 3 months category, similar to triangles and wedges. The volume pattern differs from other continuation patterns in sense that the broad price swings prevent the usual drop off in activity seen in other such patterns. The most common measuring technique applied to the rectangle is based on height of price range. Measure of Measure the height of the trading range from top to bottom and then project that vertical distance from breakout point. The measured move. Example of a measured move or the swing measurement in an uptrend. This theory holds that the second leg in advance CD duplicates the size and slope of the up leg AB. The corrective wave BC often retraces third half of AB before the uptrend resumes. A prior up leg, this is A to B, this is a prior up leg, adds the volume to bottom of correction at C. Adds that value to bottom of correction at C. On this chart, the prior uptrend AB was 20 points. Then adding that to the low point C 62 yielded the price target to 82. Okay. Then the continuation head and shoulder pattern. The head and shoulder pattern can sometimes appear as continuation instead of reversal pattern. In continuation head and shoulder variety, prices trace out a pattern that looks very similar to sideways rectangular pattern. The middle peak in the consolidation exceeds the other two peaks. Because it is turned upside down, there is no chance of confusing it with the reversal pattern. So this is upside down, a bullish continuation head and shoulder pattern. Example of bearish continuation head and shoulder pattern. The pattern is very clear but shows up in an unusual place. The pattern was completed and the uptrend resumed with the close above the neckline at 60. Pattern is very clear but shows up in an unusual place. The pattern was completed and the uptrend resumed with the close above neckline at 60. Confirmation and divergence. Confirmation refers to comparison of all technical signals and indicators to ensure the most of those indicators are pointing in the same direction and are confirming one another. Divergence is opposite of confirmation and refers to a situation where different technical indicators fail to confirm one another. Confirmation refers to comparison of all technical signals and indicators to ensure that the most of the indicators are pointing in the same direction and are confirming one another. Divergence is opposite of confirmation and refers to situation where different technical indicators fail to confirm one another. So conclusion, we stated earlier that the three pieces of raw data used by technical analysts were price, volume and open interest. Confirmation refers to comparison of all technical signals and indicators to ensure the uh, most of those indicators are pointing in the same direction and confirming one another, and divergence is opposite of confirmation and refers to situation where different technical indicators fail to confirm one another. So when most of the technical indicators are pointing towards one direction, then it is called confirmation, and divergence is opposite of that. The conclusion: we stated earlier that the three pieces of raw data used by the technical analyst were price, volume and open interest. So this is conclusion.